Rock painting. Okay, now we're ready to paint. Make sure that you put newspaper down or cardboard or maybe an old tablecloth on your workspace so that you don't get your table dirty. I have two different size brushes. I have a larger one for covering the base and then a little small one for detail. A little bit of water, not a lot, so if I spill it, less for me to clean up. I've got my acrylic paints. You want to make sure you use acrylic. You can get these, actually Dollar Tree sells these now, the acrylic, or they come in these little containers, whichever you like. I also have glue, Mod Podge, to coat after it's dry. If you don't have Mod Podge, you can use Elmer's glue. It does not have to be clear. It can be the white glue. So let's get started. So first I'm going to do the base coat, and I tried a different color before and didn't work, so I'm going to get my brush a little bit wet. Now, because I'm only going to use this white for this coat here, I'm just going to dip it right into the bottle. You don't have to, you could put a little bit on your newspaper. So I'm going to just start painting. So go ahead and do your base coat first, and we'll get back. I painted my first coat of paint, and it's white. Make sure when you're using acrylic paint you wear an apron or an old t-shirt because it does stain your clothes. You can use stain remover to get it out, but it is a little difficult. If you don't want to use acrylic paint, Sharpies is another great way, or paint markers are really good to use. Just remember, if you're going to use a tempera paint, it's not going to do that great outside with our different types of weather. If you're going to keep it inside though, that's fine. So we're waiting for this to dry. I'm going to show you some that my niece and I did a few years ago, and we actually made these into magnets. So you can do that. You can buy the little magnet strips and we hot glued them on, and that's why we have sequins on these, because they were not going outside. But you can see we started with different colors of our base coat. It was yellow, and then we did some turquoise stripes and a heart. Like I said before, I think we did these for Valentine's Day as gifts to our family. And I took some glitter glue, put that on there as well. You can see we were just having fun with what we had around the house. Actually, Dollar Tree sells these black rocks here in a bag for $1, which is really cool. And I'm not advertising for them right now, but sometimes when you're under budget, it's a great place to go get your supplies. So here's one that I actually have in a plant outside. I have not varnished it yet. So varnish means to coat it with the glue or the Mod Podge. So I'll do that today before we finish. This one I use paint, black Sharpie, and silver Sharpie, so to get those fine lines there. Okay. So now I'm gonna wait a few more minutes for this to dry, and that's the cool thing about acrylic paint, it doesn't take that long to dry. Waiting for your rock to dry, you might want to get a piece of paper and sketch some ideas out for your rock design. All right, we'll see you in a few minutes. So it's been about, not quite 10 minutes, but if you want things to go faster, you can use a hair dryer. Ask mom and dad if you can use it, or they can help you. Just don't put it too close because you don't want to get the rock super hot and burn yourself. But you can use a hair dryer or just blow on it or fan it with a piece of paper. I just let mine dry a little bit while I was Googling some ideas for my rock. Because I've got this jagged little edge here, I'm just going to go simple and do swirls. So I just dip my brush in the paint, and I've got a little extra, so I'm going to make a little palette right here for myself. Remember how to use the paintbrush. It's a tip like a ballerina dancer. You don't want to squish it like that and pull it. That pulls the hairs out. Using the tip like a ballerina dancer. Now I'm going to just start doing my designs. If you want to take a pencil and start drawing beforehand, so if you feel like you might mess up, but the cool thing about art, mess ups are really cool and they actually become part of your artwork. So remember, there's nothing perfect. So there's my first swirl. Maybe I'm gonna do one that's gonna come off of this little rock here. Or I could change these into like half circles. That's up to you. Okay, go have fun creating. A few tips while you're painting. Remember, you have to let each color dry. So if I was gonna add some red, I need to make sure, like if I wanted to do polka dots on here, make sure that this bottom coat is dry, because otherwise it's might make a different color. So like here, maybe I'm gonna do little stripes, and you can see it's still wet, so it made a purplish color, because blue and red make purple. Even the different tones will make it. So make sure you let that dry, okay? So I finished painting this one. I'm gonna let it dry, but I'm gonna show you how to add a coat of the clear Mod Podge or glue after. Make sure everything is dry. So I'm gonna use my Mod Podge. I'm using a different brush. Dip it in there. Don't need too much. And I'm gonna start just painting like I would paint. Just give it a clear coat. It's okay if it has that film, milky kind of film to it. It'll dry clear. Okay. So after that's dried, you can add a magnet to that or go put it out in your garden. I hope you guys enjoyed this lesson and have fun and be safe. Miss all of you guys so much. Bye.